the problems of India and their solutions. In this unit you learn unemployment, discrimination, gender, caste, regional inequalities, corruption times communalism, terrorism times corporate strategies. India has faced numerous external and internal problems since 1947. These problems have to be managed through efficient administration. The support of citizens is needed for our democratic governments at the center, state and local levels. Now, let's see what are the problems faced by our country. Isn't it our duty to know this? Yes, we need to know and also find some solutions too. Most of them are human-made and national emergencies. Hence, the need is to find a reasonable and humane solution. The solution is to be found through good administration, social reformation, fast and efficient judiciary. This solution needs to be backed by people's support. Let's know more about such problems. Unemployment. Unemployment is a situation where a person does not find work in accordance to his capacity or qualification. India has a huge population and unemployment is a big problem. Usually, the population and improved technology are considered as the two reasons for unemployment. Apart from these two, shortage of natural resources, over-dependency of agriculture, ruined cottage industries and lack of skill-based education, unemployment has become a huge problem. According to census of 2011, the poverty rate is 21.9%. This indicates the growing problem of unemployment in India. In order to solve the poverty-related issues, both the central and state governments have taken various measures to generate employment for people. Steps have been taken to improve the skill level of the job seekers so that they can have better access to employment, providing loans and subsidy to enable people to engage in self-employment. In reality, handicrafts and products created out of self-employment are unable to compete with goods created by globalized economy, and this has further complicated the issue of unemployment. Hence, the solution is to inculcate world-class skill to our people so that they compete with globalized production. Apart from this, every citizen of the country should be encouraged to indulge in one or the other. Employment by providing job-oriented course to all is another strategy to think on. Corruption. Corruption is another social evil in the public life of India. Now, the corruption has spread to all strata of the society. Corruption means offering bribe and following any other illegal means to achieve some illegal benefits. Corruption stays away from legal framework in its operation. This also can be defined as misuse of public authority for personal gains. Sweeping away all the procedures for a narrow personal gain can also be termed as corruption. It has become contagious disease. In personal life, corruption influences negatively on both personal as well as public sphere of life. It influences the economic, social and political life of a country negatively. It also means an immoral thing from the political angle. Corruption of personal ethics and morality happens in the personal sphere. In public sphere, bribery, nepotism, caste favoritism and intentional slowdown of the work appear as various forms of corruption. During election time, all these evil practices simply find inroads into social life. Political corruption leads to crime. It also provides motivation of corruption in public life and nourishes the misadministration on the part of officials. Things like tax evasion, illegal hoarding, smuggling, economic offences, cheating, violation of international exchange and employment. Cheating all find space in corruption. It is impossible to root out corruption by either rejecting it at personal level or just going along with it. It can be rooted out only through strong public ethics and morality and personal commitment. Many a times, natural human tendency for selfishness, eagerness to fend off personal emergencies and personal gain lead a person to engage in corruption. Lack of strict supervision and weak legal enforcement leads to corruption. Political will and public support is inevitable for tackling corruption. In other words, ethical political leadership, good officers, and politically aware and educated public can weed out corruption. Institutions like Lokpal and Lokayukta can bring down corruption drastically. Education institutions can take a lead in this direction by installing CCTV cameras in government offices and increasing efficiency of government work can also bring down the intensity of the corruption. Measures like awarding harsh punishment for corrupt officials can also bring in some change. Increasing the number of courts and judges can also rein in corruption. In nutshell, coordinated efforts are needed to address this burning social problem. Discrimination. Discriminations based gender, caste and region is more evident in India. Indian society is made up of patriarchal values. It discriminates the role women and man according to the patriarchal values. Hence, inequalities are there between men and women in our society. Government of India has undertaken various measures, like providing reservation in education and employment, along with providing reservations in elections of local bodies to overcome this gender discrimination. It has reserved 1/3 of the seats in local elections. In Karnataka, 50% reservation has been given to women in local body elections. With this measure, efforts are on to end the discrimination prevalent between genders. Just like gender discrimination, caste-based discrimination is also a challenge to India. Caste system is a gift to Indian political system from the ancient societal system based on Varna. Many measures have been undertaken in the constitution itself to prevent caste-based discrimination. The right for equality and freedom have been included in the Section 3 of the Indian Constitution. But the caste system has continued to live even after all these efforts. This cannot be solved only with the legal intervention. In order to eradicate this system, the society also needs to prepare itself to accept the change. Regional inequality is like gender and caste inequality and has posed a big challenge to India. Some regions of the country have achieved a lot of progress while many parts have remained backward. In order to remove such inequalities, the Article 371 has been amended from A to J. Through these amendments, backward regions have been given special status. In spite of all these measures, the regional inequalities problem has grown to such an extent that many are demanding independent state status for themselves. In the light of these developments, there is an urgent need to eradicate regional imbalances of the country as early as possible. In Karnataka, in order to address the regional imbalances, a committee headed by DM Nanjundappa has given special report on various measures needed to solve the regional imbalance in 2001. Some of the most backward regions of Karnataka have been accorded special status by adding Article 371J. Communalism. Communalism is a major problem in our country. Segregation in the name of religion and creating hatred and cultivating opposite self interests can be called as communalism. It creates social differences, mutual suspicion and fear situation in the society. Political competition, social groupism and economic hatefulness is expressed in communalism. Communalism has the capacity to endanger the integrity and unity of India. It not only disturbs the peace of the society, it also destroys the public and private property. It leads to mutual accusations and physical assaults and other undesirable effects. Communalism puts self-interest ahead of national interest. The communal forces make attempts to increase their communal forces in the country. They attempt to preach their religion and also tend to be suspicious of other religion. This affects the unity of the nation. As a result, the country has to spend a lot of energy to maintain internal peace and order. A lot of precautions are needed to address the challenge posed by communalism. Ideas like uniform civil code, equality among all the citizens, supporting secular values in the society and transcending narrow thoughts in favor of national interests can be the solutions for communalism. Economic and social inequality could fuel the communalism. Attempts should be made to foster the faiths of all people and develop healthy national thoughts. Precautions should be taken to check communalism as it would spoil the integrity, equality, fraternity, and cultural diversity of India. The citizens should commit themselves for a secular society status of women. Take events of women during pre-independent India are notable. Jhansi Rani Lakshmibai, Kituru Rani Chennamma, Annie Besant, Kasturba, Gandhi, Savitribai Phule, Sarojini Naidu are some of the memorable women freedom fighters. Now women are present in all walks of life like medical, teaching, engineering, pilot, astronaut, police, politics, military, and other areas. Still, the status of women needs a lot of improvement. The status of women has remained low due to social customs, poverty and illiteracy. This has affected the progress of the country. The government has started Women and Child Development Department in order to develop women's education and status. Through various measures taken, the government seeks to improve the status, health and education of the women. Many programs have been implemented to curb child marriage system, Dowry Prohibition Act. Compulsory education are implemented as a means of empowering women. The government of Karnataka has implemented Stri Shakti program through which self-help groups of women are formed and fostered as a means of social progress. Various cooperative formations like Stri Shakti self-help groups, associations of self-help groups have been formed. Women's commissions have been established at national and state level to address the various issues of women. Attempts are made to provide reservations at state and national legislature bodies. Women reservation has already been provided at local bodies. Women reservation is also provided in government recruitments. In India, Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister for a long time. MS Pratibha Patil was the President of India. Many women have performed various roles as ambassadors, governors, ministers, chief ministers and many others have influential positions and have performed well. The success of these women has been inspirational for many women. Terrorism. Terrorism can be called as extremism. This is a method putting pressure on a government. Terrorism based on political ideologies, religious faiths and ideological beliefs creates a lot loss for the individuals as well as communities. Moreover, terrorism creates psychological pain and influences the cultural aspects negatively. Terrorism is nothing but fulfilling its narrow end by creating panic and violence. It feeds on fear of the people. These are organized crimes purported by organized group of people. Such activities are called anti-national and anti-social acts. Bombing of World Trade Center of USA, bomb attacks on Bali of Indonesia, bombing various cities of France, Britain and other countries are the reason for worries at international level. The terrorism is based on extreme religious sentiments, separatism, racialism or leftist ideals. Often, a country funds and supports terrorism in another country. Terrorism targets civilians of the country, military bases, and also targets specific communities with specific languages, religion, race, and skin color to create maximum terror among them. It aims at creating more fear by killing people. They use explosives, deadly gases to attain their goal. The killings done by terrorists are pre-planned. They work with their own network of intelligence. They employ modern-day gadgets and means of transportation. They target busy areas like airports, railway stations, markets, and other areas to attack. They seek to spread their jewels along with this violence. They also use tactics like suicide bombing, kidnapping innocent people to attain their targeted aims. India is one of the countries in the world that has been the target of terrorism for many years. Terrorism is and was there in states like Nagaland, Manipur, Kashmir, Punjab and other places. There was attack on Taj Hotel in Mumbai on 26 November 2007. Similarly, the Parliament House had also been the target of terrorism. Terrorists have targeted places like Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Budhagaya and other places to create panic. Our neighboring countries like Pakistan and China are accused of supporting and aiding terrorism in our country. India has always criticized terrorism in other countries also. Our central and state governments have taken utmost care to stop terrorism. They have always strived to protect the property and life of ordinary people. They have even created special elite forces to tackle these terrorists. India has been a peace-loving country and has undertaken many initiatives to stop terrorism. A look into history says that a very little has been achieved by violent activities like terrorism. At the same time, history has been made by employing truth, non-violence and love. The killing of people like Gandhiji, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi did not erase their efforts to achieve progress through peace. Whereas actions of Buddha, Mahavira, Jesus, Muhammad Pegambar, Baswa, Gandhi, Nehru, Ambedkar, Martin Luther, Nelson Mandela and others have given new light, new paths and new life to the people all over the world. Peace and love are greater than violence and hate. Corporate strategy. The corporate strategies has been the biggest challenge in front of Indian society since the beginning of 21st century. A group administrative measure undertaken by a company to achieve a premeditated target is called corporate strategy. The present-day corporate strategies are using globalized environment and modern technologies. The main aim of these strategies are maximizing the profits of the company. This affects the people, the society and a country negatively. Often, the corporate strategies influence the decisions of the governments also. On the positive side, the same corporate companies can be employed to alleviate social problems like poverty, malnutrition, health, skill training and many other aspects of society through corporate social responsibility (CSR) programs. The governments need to mandate such initiatives through appropriate legal measures. Only with such initiatives, the Indian society can channelize the corporate strategies in favor of the society.